Hi, and welcome to the Trade Ideas live trading room recap for Thursday, June the 11th. My name is Barry Anderson, and I'm the moderator of the trading room. This is the address to get into our room, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. Okay, not a kind of watching this one. You can see here on the 30-minute opening range break, it's a little late, 581, but it popped pretty quickly. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on it to see if it pops through $6. I may take the trade if it does. Um, Today was punctuated by quite a few scalps by me. Not quite a few. I mean, I'm only going to go over about 4 trades, but um, I missed a couple of really early ones, really good ones, and unfortunately, I missed the bulk of these ones. A lot of it has to do, like people ask me, well, you have these great alerts, why don't you get them all? And one of the reasons is that we have this optimized channel, and I'm trying to keep track of like it's in beta, and I'm trying to keep track of a lot of the alerts that are coming in on that, because that ultimately is going to be what everybody is looking for and will be getting soon, probably by sometime in July, I hope. And consequently, when we get these, I get these alerts. Sometimes they happen so quickly and I just flat out miss them. But, that's a bad excuse because this really produced well today. I'm going to go over some of them later, okay? Now, the first trade I took was AVG. And as I said in the room, it was amazing. Now, just 1 second, please. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't have it marked up. But anyway, now why did I take this one? This came from the Gap and Go. And this one hasn't really worked that well, to be honest with you. I mean, about 3 weeks ago or a month ago, I can't even remember. I was using this and it was working quite well, but in the last little while, I've just kind of forgotten about it a bit. But what happened is that these first two, Box and KKD, just absolutely ran. I mean, let me just show you. Remember, 1971 at 9:30. Now, granted, it would have been hard to get it right at that point, but 1931, and it ran all the way up to 20 odd dollars, so to $20.50. So over $1 on that one. KKD, Krispy Kreme, the same sort of thing. I mean, here's the alert at 1874. It's still at 1976, but look how far it went. I mean, it's almost $1.50 on that one. So you see, when I got this one, AVG, I was bound and determined to take it. Now, what really caused me pause, though, was the fact that it had only traded 64,000 at this point. Now, KKD was only 87, but Box was really active in the pre-market. I think it had earnings and all, so it already had some good volume. But I was bound and determined to take AVG. But the problem again was that it was rather spready, and I knew that. I mean, I knew going into it that it was going to be maybe a little bit difficult. So I ended up finally kind of biting the bullet and taking it right here at 28.20 and got a little bit excited. It got up to 28.38 and it looked like it was going to start to run. But the minute it started coming down, I said, I just didn't want to take the chance that something like this would happen. And look what happened. It just collapsed. So, geez, I'm just trying to sort. There we go. So there's my exit at 28.26. So I made a grand total of 6 cents. But basically, I look at this as a big phew. I didn't. I was out just in the nick of time. However, having said that, because now it was on my radar, I definitely wanted to keep watching it. So, I watched this little bottom come in here, and obviously it would have been nice to have caught it here. But in this little flag action here, these are 5-minute candles. On this little flag action here, I decided to take the trade and basically for what I'm calling a scalp. And, my definition of a scalp really, I mean, it could be 10 cents, it could be 15 cents, it could be 20. I mean, it really, it could be very quick. And it's not that I'm absolutely wanting to scalp. I mean, somebody said you've turned into a scalper. Well, it's not because I want to, but I mean the market conditions can dictate that. And so I ended up taking the trade at 27.25. Immediately got out some at 27.37. Did not want this to happen to me again, and exited the rest at 27.55. And obviously on this little flag and these tight little candles, should have got in probably 27.65, but and it got up to 20, almost to 28. But I think by that time I was probably on to something else. But it just goes to show though, just because you're in a stock early and it doesn't really work out, especially the ones that are active. I mean, this was an active stock. Now the volume is a million, over a million shares. Remember, it was only 60 odd or 50 odd thousand at this point. Anyway, so that was AIG. EDU. EDU came from this particular strategy. Let me just bring it in here. Now these are the just one second. Yeah, so you can see here I've got the Trade Ideas AI channel prototype, and we're still testing all these strategies, and that's one of the reasons why I'm tending to miss some of the other ones that are quite good. But I really want to test these because I think ultimately, if we get these really working well the way that I think we can, these are just going to be fabulous to be able to watch all day, and we'll have different types of strategies for different types of traders. But this one, EDU. Now, I think on this one, Dan makes some cute names with it. Boom, this one wants to run with volume and all that. And this one actually triggered, I think, EDU also yesterday, but also, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was the oil stock that absolutely went nuts. I think it added on about $3 or $4. So I wanted to take this one. 25.97 was the alert. And you see how it, let's see, it popped up to 2606, came back down here to 2580, and I typically, now I know I jumped the gun on this. Typically, I like to wait for the second break, but I decided to take this the trade right here at 25.97. Got out some here at 26.32 and the balance at 26.27. So no, it was not as dynamic as the one yesterday, but I'm really liking the way that particular strategy is starting to play out. I cannot share it with you yet. It's still a prototype or still in beta, so please don't ask me for it. But I'm pretty excited, especially the one yesterday. Just absolutely was a monster. Now, CBS. Let's take a look at CBS. Now, why did I trade CBS? One of the posters in the room, Matt, he was looking at this as actually kind of a bounce play. And he alerted the room that he was looking at it as a bounce play. And I think it was, to be honest, I can't remember if it was right here that he was looking for it to bounce. It might have been. And so when it started doing this, he said, it didn't work. But I started to watch it. And when I saw this little action here, another little pull up, and then the red candle, I decided to take a short on it. And so I sorted it right here at 58.55, and I exited a little late. It actually got all the way down to 58.27, but it zoomed right up. I waited a little bit to see if it could come back down again, and it didn't, and so I exited at 58.41. So, I mean, nothing, again, these are more like little scalp trades, fairly quick. This is about half an hour, but nonetheless, it goes to show, though, I mean, we have a lot of people in the room who are posting ideas, and even though this was nothing that I had seen before on my alerts, it did look interesting. And of course, I was trying to see if it would bounce. I mean, I wanted to see also if it would bounce and give us something. Now, the other one, and this was the only bounce play that I did play. Let's see what it's doing. Yeah, I may have jumped the gun on it, but we'll see. These are my bouncers. I do share these in the room. I only had one today. I mean, I don't get a lot of them. I put some fairly aggressive filters on them, so I weed out a lot of the stocks that really, I obviously I can get more alerts if I relax my filters, but I just like to have some pretty, I say, aggressive filters so that the alerts that I get are generally pretty, their quality. But we didn't get one until 139. I mean, the market's almost over. But Hess, you see, it's up still $3.40. So this one, the alert came right here. Let me just bring back so the alert was at 68.74. And so you see, look at these little tight candles. Bring this up. So 68.62. In fact, is that the low? Low is 66. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, this is this tail right down here. It probably shouldn't really be there. But at any rate, this is really, I mean, here's where it started and it ramped up. But anyway, The bottom line is this, is that when I'm looking at these bounce plays, and here's why I get alerted to it. All these candles are a bunch of red candles down in a row. It's dropped a certain percentage. And again, I will share this with you. All I have to do is ask, but I mean, I've posted this many, many times in the trading room. But anyway, back to this. You see how it's starting to tighten up. I mean, we don't see wide candles right here. So we have now 1, 2, 3, 4 tight candles. That to me is the sign that potentially the little bit of selling is over. And nice tight stop, 68.63. So on this candle right there, I don't even know if there was a volume. Nah, you see, the volume wasn't even that great on it, but I just decided I had to take the trade. So I took the trade at 68.75. I got out some at 68.93, and I don't have it marked here, but I took out the balance at 68.97 as it broke down through 69. You see how it got up through 69? I was really hoping it would, just keep going. Obviously, it didn't. Now I do see that it is going again, so I may, the market. I've got an hour and 15 left in the market. It's possible that I may just jump back in and take it if it can get over 69.10. We have this to worry about, 69.34. But again, this is the scalper in me right now. I mean, I'm willing to take these on tight stops for 20, 30 cents. Now, as I said, I wanted to go over some of these ones here. These really performed well. Were there losers? Of course there were. But the losers, were very, what I would call very minor losers. And in fact, the worst one would have been Jobs, but I probably wouldn't have taken it until the second break, which never happened anyway. But take a look at these ones. I mean, Isle, 1988. Okay, remember that one, Isle, 1988. So here's the break right around here, and it gets as high as 20, almost $1 for that one. Let's see what happened with JRJC. Remember the alert is at 572. JRJC at 572. So you see what I'm saying is that it wouldn't have got killed in it. I mean, it's not like it collapsed. For me, if it dropped down a dime, I would have been out of it. DL. Now that was a really nice quick one. DL 1701. Look at this, 1809. Now I'm not saying that you can hold it all day because probably this action might have whipped you out a little bit. But again, we're talking what, 17? What did I say? 1701. So right here is the alert, and even if this got you out, 1743. I mean, on a $17 stock, that's pretty good percentage. But this really ran. So I mean, for the way I tend to do a lot of these, if I'd been in this, well, I probably would have sold half of it and tried to hold on for the rest. I am starting to find that the ones that run on the 30-minute opening range breaks really can run, even though there's some chop. But if you can hold on to a piece of it, you can get really rewarded. Let's take a look at CNET. What did it do? 368 for CNET. 368. So it got as high as there's where it broke. So if you took it, but again, I tend to wait for a second break. But even if you had taken it, okay, you would have got out probably here. That's what I would have got out. So not a huge loss. Let me just, okay, OHGI. Now, OHGI admittedly would have been a very tough one. It was very, very quick. But again, here's what I'm saying. Look how they're holding. OHGI, $4.85. $4.85. So it would have been right around here. This was tough. It really popped up quickly, but if you could have got some, I mean, it hit a high of 532, and it's still kind of holding. EHIC 1616. Let's take a look at that one. I know that was another good one. 1616. So it's still up at 1692 and pretty darn steady here. Now DSKY, that's another excellent one. DSKY 1219. DSKY at 12.19. So, still holding really steady at 12.89. Now, here you would have got shaken out for sure. But, if you just took off half and just kept the rest, it's in a market that is, the volume is starting to really get down. These to me anyway are starting to show some great alerts. Let's see how LITB is doing. I've hope it hasn't. Yeah, there you go. 610. The alert was at 581. So if you don't have this one, and I have posted it in our trading room many times. I plead with you, save it to the cloud, save it to the cloud. This is just this to me is my almost my go-to one. If I only had one alert that I was able to follow, this would be the one. The 30-minute opening range break alerts. That would be the only one, and I would just wait on them all day. All right, that's it for me today. I've gone 15 minutes, a fairly long video. Okay, here again is how to get into the room. Here's the address. You can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account, and I hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow.